The adoption business, so to speak, really tries to push out this adoption narrative that everything is going to be great. Once this child is going to be in your home, you can squeeze this child into your family, and if you just give them love, everything will turn out wonderful. My name is Robin Gast, and I was adopted from South Korea at 3 months old. So I know that my biological parents were both married. They had 4 daughters. I would have been the 5th. When I came to the States, I lived in Wahoo, Nebraska. It's a very small town. I do have good memories of living in Nebraska. Adoption loss is one of the only traumas where the victim, by the whole of society, should feel grateful. So there's always this weight on us, this guilt, that adoptees should feel grateful, should feel lucky. And I struggle with that all the time, because I know that there's thousands of kids that probably will never get adopted. Adoption trauma that I've experienced is certainly having those feelings of abandonment, and also probably the perfectionism piece of it too. There is always that weight on me where I have to be compliant. So there's also a level of people pleasing. Certainly felt when I was younger I had to be good. I had to listen to my parents. There was also fear of them, sending me back possibly. Probably even memories even before I was 5. Just realizing that I looked different than my family, my adoptive family, and just trying to fit in. My family didn't really go to many family reunions, but when I would go to those, it was very awkward. It was pretty much an immediate reminder that I am totally the only Asian person here. So I think about race every day. Those stereotypes that society puts on me, how I'm viewed by society as well. I have always struggled because obviously I'm Asian, but I am horrible at math. Did my parents ever explain to me that I would be made fun of? Not necessarily, no. Honestly, I don't even think that they realized. I really don't remember going to anything of that level in relation to any type of Asian festival or an event. If my parents did take me to those things, I would really be able to embrace my Korean culture, my Asian heritage more. It seems so far removed from me at this point. When I was in Korea a few years ago, I looked like everyone there. But my husband, he is white, and he obviously didn't look like anyone there, but that didn't bother him, but he only experienced that 9-10 days, not 365 days. When I was there, I still felt like I don't really belong there. I mean, again, the fact that I don't know Korean, that is very challenging. So if someone asked me something in Korean and I literally had to tell them I don't speak Korean. But say for younger children that it's okay to feel sad or to feel happy about their feelings on adoption. For adolescents, that it's a struggle anyways during that time period, but also if you're adopted, that just adds another level to the trauma that young people could be experiencing. That's when some of the mental health issues start coming about, and especially as you go into college as well. That certainly does progress. I would also just say to make space for whatever you're feeling. Sometimes it'll probably go through resentment to bitterness, but also to feel the obligation to be grateful, and all of that is okay. There's such a level of grief and loss that people really don't realize. Adoption is always conveyed in a way where it's a win-win scenario. Yes, that could be the case for the adoptive family that's gaining a child, but the birth family is certainly losing that child. People don't tell you if you're adopting a child is that adoptees are 4 times more likely to attempt suicide than non-adoptees as well. And so just being an adoptee, you're already at risk. So adoptees can struggle with their mental health because it's a permanent displacement for us. When I meet or hear about people being adopted, you automatically feel that you're a part of a tribe, essentially, because many people don't know that experience. They may know someone that's adopted, but they may not be adopted themselves. It's always great to have that solidarity to actually normalize in a way that There's other adoptees that have similar experiences. Again, you're not this weird anomaly because you're adopted and you didn't look like your family. Also, if there's an adoptee who wants to adopt, I think they would be great. They could totally empathize with their child's experience. So I chose to adopt because being adopted myself has made a huge impact on my life, whether it was negative or positive. So I just wanted to be able to share an experience with a child who I adopted. And it's interesting because my son is the only person in my family that looks like me too. I'm really trying to prioritize learning Korean, cooking Korean food, celebrating more Korean holidays so he can have a very different experience than I had, because I don't want him to feel that he is lacking or missing out on anything. Those are just some of the things that I hope will make a difference, that I hope will make adoption for him more of an acceptance, more that he didn't lose his life, so to speak, or he didn't lose the power to have choice in the matter. I think it would be great to encourage people who are not adopted themselves to really make space for the loss that some adoptees might be experiencing. And this isn't just grief and loss in a small amount of time in their life. It's throughout their whole entire life. The abandonment issues that most of us probably are facing and will continue to face, because these sorts of things don't ever just go away once we have our dream jobs, or once we make a certain amount of money, or once we, settle down and have kids. So these things will always stay with us. So I think it would be really great if people just were able to acknowledge and to, step back and realize what we're dealing with.